What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 78 of Bourbon and Boxing. Of course, today we got a special guest, and I know you guys were missing us on Saturday, but we had some things going on in our life. Life hit. We had to take care of some things, big dog style. But today we're back on this Monday for you guys, man, and we're bringing in a special guest. And of course, you know our host, Chef Jeff,
Big spade. You already
and our guy.
know.
Yep. But hey, yeah, like I said, we got Anthony Stoner Jr. with us to guys, man. I've been talking to this guy for over a year now. He's been working his way into the boxing game, man. Really interested to hear his story, and he's got a big promotional event coming up in Indiana, Southern Indiana, at Caesar Casino, where it's going to be his first promotional event that he's putting on. So, introduce yourself, man, Anthony. Let them know about you. Let us know how you got started in this, man, and just kind of lead off. Let's lead off with that, man.
So my name is Anthony Stoner Jr. As you said, everybody calls me TJ. I'm in a organization. I'm a co-founder of organization Griff League Sports Entertainment. We do basketball and football and stuff like that. And long story short, just kind of moving to space. We started a streaming company, 48 Inches TV, where we had a couple of sports shows, basketball, football, and I met a guy named Charles Whitehead, who had a local show called Local Louisville Fighting. So he was my introduction into boxing. And once I started producing his show and making the upgrades to his show and helping him out to get it better his show, he was like having boxers coming in and we interviewing the boxers and everything. And a couple of the boxers know us from the basketball and know how well we've kind of navigated through the basketball space. And it was like, why don't y'all get into boxing? And I was like, does Louisville even have a boxing scene? Like, for real, I didn't really know that Louisville had a boxing scene, which I thought it should have a boxing scene because of Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali.
Ali.
You know, but like,
Lee.
and even I was in the Marine Corps. So being in other countries, they think Louisville's like the mecca of boxing
Oh
because of
yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just like your casual fans and stuff like that. So, I didn't think nothing of it, and enough boxers came in and was telling me about it and this and the other, and I was just like, let me see what this is all about. So I started talking to different trainers and promoters throughout the city, popping up at events and stuff. And once I went to my first boxing event, it was a pro event by superstars of boxing, Nick Bars and or Barris. I know I'm jacking up his last name, but I went to his first event, and when I walked in the gym, it had to been 500-600 people in there. And I'm looking around, I'm like, hold on. I didn't know it was this much of a following for boxing in the city. So after that, I started going to more events, popping up at amateur events, talking to more trainers and promoters, and just doing a whole bunch of research over I think about a year and a half. When I first started talking to you, Jeff, it had been about 6 months of me already kind of navigating the space. So over the year after that, I just kind of did more research because I didn't want to just jump out there, and I know one thing I did figure out is promoters are very territorial. So jumping in, it was just a little bit of pushback a little bit, but now I think everybody's starting to see how serious I am about it and seeing how I can kind of get to certain connections that our local scene, I ain't gonna say don't have, but haven't really looked into approaching it the way that I'm trying to approach it. And I mean, I built Bourbon, the platform's called Bourbon and Boxing, you know what I'm saying? And we wanted to make a platform where I took and got like your upcoming prospect, like the one person that's on my head, two people's on my head, like I'm always thinking about. Nico Ali Walsh, having him come back to the city will be huge. And then
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Abdul Mason.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah, Doolin, man, that's my
Abdullah
boy.
Mason, boy.
Abdul Mason is a monster.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a superstar, man. That kid is just, man.
I
It
bet.
just we
Yeah,
we talked about him last week, Big Spade, right? Like we're
that's
amazed
my
by the
boy.
kid.
That's my boy.
He's just
That's my
walking,
boy.
walking everybody down, man. He's walking everybody down. It's like,
He's making it look too easy. He's making
I
it
know.
look
It's
too.
like every time I turn on like TikTok or anything, it's showing some kind of highlight of him knocking somebody out. So with those two people in mind, I was like, if I could get an Abdul Mason to come to Louisville, that's gonna make people pay attention to the promotion. So if I could get like those type of people to come in and get the eyeballs on Louisville and on that event, then I could put your John L. Taylor's, who is a welterweight that just had his first fight a few months ago here in Louisville, that I think is going to be a really good fighter. And you know, Denzel Negron, he's on my ticket for Bourbon Boxing, and these local guys that's in the city that I feel like is talented enough for people to be able to see. I can put them on this undercard, you know, and showcase them, and then everybody will get to see them. When at some point, I know there's a lot of boxers that came up in Louisville that never even got a look, just because they just wasn't in the right position to be able to get, you know what I'm saying? And then
you gotta be in that position, man.
yeah,
That's
you know
one
what I'm
thing
saying? It
about
ain't all
boxing.
about the talent. It's
Nah,
politics.
it ain't about the talent for
Yeah.
sure. It go deeper than the talent. The
Yeah.
talent is just it go deeper.
10%.
Yeah.
It's like the NFL for real.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like NFL.
40% of who you know, and then the other 50% is politics. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
they don't want to let you in, boy. That's
yeah, they don't want to let you
I
in.
feel like
Man.
it should be more promoters in boxing than just the few that we have. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Dudes got the money though.
Well, you see that at the pro level with PBC, Top Rank, design. You know, there's 4 basic platforms that control everything. Yeah, I mean, dictate who fights who, when they fight each other, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely you can tell that it's a very closed sport, and if you don't know the right people, it's hard to get in that inner circle for them to let you in. So,
Right.
and I think we kind of talked about that a little bit, like knowing somebody isn't skipping the steps, like you said. It's having an inside person helps you in a sport like boxing. If you don't, then it's even harder to get your foot in the door.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was telling him, Spade. It's like my business partner is Daryl Griffith Jr. So his father played in the NBA for the Utah Jazz for all those years, and he was played for Louisville. So he's like, if Muhammad Ali is her, Griff's like her, you know. So he's in Louisville or whatever. So me and his son started Griff League and the basketball stuff or whatever. And once when I started to get into the boxing and start to take certain steps seriously, and then little Griff started seeing what I was doing, he was like, let me make a phone call. And then he ended up calling Marilyn Williams, who is Muhammad Ali's sister-in-law. You know what I'm saying? So then she introduced me to Bobby Hicks, who's a promoter from Chicago. And then I got to meet Fredo Quindo, who was like the first Puerto Rican heavyweight champion. I started meeting all these different people, and they started, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to pay attention to. This is what you need to not pay attention to. Don't go this route. Don't go that route. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Just giving me tips and pointers and stuff. So I got to miss, like I said, I ain't gonna say skipping steps, but it was just like I started getting to know people, and it started getting me in doors that I wouldn't have got in without them type deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I got right here. Because at first when I started talking about the bourbon and boxing thing, the first thing I wanted to do was trying to get like a small venue, like I can't think of nothing in Cincinnati that would have been, but it'd been like something that holds like 500-600 people. You know what I'm saying? And then do it that way. But it went from that to what it is now, where I'm doing it at a casino it holds like 22,000 to 2,500 people, and the casino promoting and all this and the other, based on the relationships that I was able to build in the 18 months that I was doing all my research. So, and then also I think one of the things I started hearing a lot of is Fred Stoner was one of Muhammad Ali's first trainers. It was the police officer, and it was Fred. And I don't think Fred gets a lot of credit for what he was to Muhammad Ali in his career when he first started his boxing career. But that's my great uncle. So the one thing that I heard the most was when Miss Marilyn introduced me to somebody, they'd be like, it's good to have somebody from the Stoner family back in boxing. And then I'd be like, okay, now I don't, you know what I'm saying? considering I just figured out that I was kin to him at the end of last year. So his granddaughter actually approached me and was like, "What's up, cuz?" And I'm like, "Okay, I need some more information or whatever." And we got to talking and found out that I was kin to him. You know what I'm saying? Kin to him. He was my great uncle, and being in this space, realizing my name kind of carries a little bit of weight in boxing. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were also telling me what I find really interesting, man, is not only did you get this going the way you wanted to, because remember you were talking to me last year about it, like, hey man, I really want to throw this event on, and you finally got it going, and to find out, like you were saying, what was it last week? The UFC event had
Yeah.
28 people involved in that whole thing,
Yeah.
helping get it together, and here you are, you and one other person. What's her name
Yeah.
again?
Anna Good. It's my she's actually producing the show and also going after the sponsorships to make it happen or whatever. So the assistant to the mayor in Louisville, her name is Jody. She told Anna that the UFC event took 28 people to put it together. And they were amazed that it was just me and Anna putting this together. And it was like, it ain't been easy. It's been hard as hell, keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But just,
Well, tell,
I
tell us the
think,
steps on without kind of tell us the steps, like how did you go about with only being two of you, which means probably twice the amount of work that you guys had to do to reach out to these guys. How did you go about saying, okay, how did you set this all up, man? For people like me and Spade, we want to really get into the industry. It may not even be promoting wise, but getting our out there, knowing how to uh to go about the scene, how to correctly go about the scene without, like, how did you go and not feel like you weren't stepping on other promoters' toes and, doing or did you say, you know what, these promoters aren't worried about me, so I'm not worried about them. I'm going to do my thing.
so the way that I go about things, and this is just me being, I guess, from how I was raised, one, and then also from me being in the Marine Corps, it's just I have a certain amount of respect for anybody that I meet. Like you have to do something personally to make me not respect you. Because when I first meet you, I'm always gonna give you a certain amount of respect already because that's just how I am. So
Right.
with me like approaching the other promoters when I wanted to get in this space, and of course, I'm not, like I said, there's been a lot of pushback, and I'm even going through the point now where some promoters that I felt like didn't really pay attention to me when I first started, seeing where I'm at now, they're like, oh, okay. So I try to be as transparent as possible. But in the boxing industry, that I'm starting to understand is promoters are territorial, don't nobody believe nothing. And then you gotta prove and show pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So no hard feelings towards none of those promoters at all. You know what I'm saying? But they was just basically protecting their own brands. And at the same time, how many people have popped up and said, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, and then I did anything. So once I figured out that I had to navigate that space that way, I just went ahead and did what I had to do. So my first couple of steps was basically just kind of studying the layout of everything in Louisville, just paying attention to who was who does what, at what level they do those things and stuff like that. And after that, it was just kind of starting to meet up with to talk to different people. So like I said, Bobby Hits in Chicago, he's a promoter. I don't have my promoter's license yet because it's a process that you have to go through in Kentucky in order for you to get it. So I started talking to Bobby, and me and Bobby kind of started trying to figure out how he wants to come here anyway, because he was one. They said it's been about 25 or 10 or 25 years. I can't remember exactly which one, since it was a boxing promotion at Caesars, Southern Indiana. Wow. So the last person to do a show there was Bobby Hitt. So I started talking to him, and this and all that. He wants to come back down here and start doing promotions too. So we started talking back and forth, and he decided that he was going to do a promotion here, and I just take care of everything else, like the venue. He'll take care of the boxes. If I run into a boxer, I send him to him. He talks to him, see if they can match him up and get him on the card and this and the other. And I just basically take care of that. The venue.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Venue, everything else. So, and that's what I know because, hell, I've been throwing parties in nightclubs since 2001. You know what I'm saying? So, like 2001, me and Griff was running the party scene back in the day. So it's like throwing parties. I was with a group, Blackout Entertainment, and then Griff was throwing his parties and everything. He started on University of Louisville's campus, and I was just running with my crew, and we was just doing parties like that. So knowing how to throw an event, that's not even hard. The hard part is getting all the boxers and the licensing and the medical records and all that other stuff. And Bobby's kind of showing me how to do that. So when I do go to process to get my promoter's license and this and the other, I kind of know how to navigate the space. So I've had several people help me along the way to get where I'm at right now. And then Miss Merlin introduced me to Anna, and Anna's like, she does events for like Jack Harlow and Mars, a couple of industry people and stuff like that. She does little events and stuff for them, private parties, listening parties, stuff like that. And she's already in the space of raising money for events. She did a gala doing Derby and stuff like that. So once me and her met, our energy we kind of connected on a space of knowing how valuable this could be, not only to the city of Louisville or the Kentucky, Indiana area, but as I don't think there's nobody else doing something like we're doing. Like we're trying to create a platform and keep putting the boxers first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of the promoters. You know what I'm saying? I kind of taking pride in trying to build something like that.
Yeah.
That's impressive as hell, man. You got any questions for him, Big Spade?
Yeah, I had a
Anything you?
question. I think he kind of answered it, but still want to answer. Like, so how y'all go about like what boxers y'all want to fight on y'all at the time, or can y'all can like so say if I knew a boxer or whatever the case may be, can I tell him to hit you up and he could get on the show as long as he got that the person in the same weight class or whatever that may be?
Yeah, so I mean, also we have a matchmaker that works with us also. So if it's something like, and now I will say that I'm not really trying to make it just like the Wild Wild West where anybody can get on there and this and the other. I'm really trying to put on a show for people who have talent that I feel like if I recently met a guy from a Red Owl Boxing. So if he was watching our show and he seen dude, then he might be able to move him, send him to Houston to their facility and fight at their facility. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I see. Saying you ain't no like okay, put on a show type.
Yeah. So
Right?
it's somebody who's gonna take the sport seriously and it's actually yeah. So if it's anybody like that, it's like it's just having a hard time getting to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
knocking everybody down that he's supposed to, and he's 5-0 right now, and he just ain't got the next level. You know what I'm saying? So if it's something that I can do to help
get to
raise his level to the next level, or get some eyeballs on him so somebody will notice him, then that's what I'm trying to create.
Yeah, because that's the hard part about boxing. But I had another question. So is it like amateurs or is it pros? Like is it amateurs as far as like headgear amateurs or is it like amateurs like I was kind of confused about that. Like is it like amateurs as far as
So it's
kids or is amateurs like far as like people coming from the amateur starting their pro career?
these pros. Like
Oh,
they
these
are
pros.
pros. Like I'm doing pro shows right now. I want to do amateur shows, but I'm kind of trying to figure out how to navigate through that space because I know USA Boxing, they don't allow you to profit off of amateur events. You're not supposed to.
What?
Yeah, you're not supposed to charge. I think it's a new
Unless you're
rule
doing
too.
like, I guess so. If you're doing club shows, I guess you
Yeah, I
could.
mean, if you're doing an amateur show, you're not supposed to charge. Is the
Oh
way I
yeah,
understand it.
I didn't
So
know that.
I'm trying to make it to where I'm doing pro shows, and as those pro shows go and they start to be profitable, then I can get any sponsor or whatever and be like, look, I'm getting ready to do this amateur show. if you want to jump on for the advertising and this and the other, then I don't have to charge at the door, and I can get the event paid for with
Yeah.
sponsorship,
Yeah.
and then it just
Yeah.
run it that way. So I'm always legit because I don't want to start in the amateur space not having some type of, relationship with sponsors. This is my window into bourbon and boxing is going to be the start of relationships that I've built for this event,
Yeah.
hoping to carry those relationships on to, what I'm saying, future events.
Right.
So yeah, I want to get in the amateur space too. So,
Yeah,
at
this the
some
mecca
point.
of the amateurs. I'm gonna tell you that. So when you ready to get there, let me know. This Cincinnati, where we got the top gym, the number one gym.
Oh yeah?
With we got last year they called Real Deal. Shout out to Real Deal. Last year they sent 10 kids to USA Boxing Nationals. 9 of them came back with belts.
Oh, okay.
They go to the Silver Gloves, and then Toledo. Shout out to Toledo too. They got a boxing gym. I think they number 2. They call
Yeah.
Cartel Boxing.
Is
They
that like national ranking?
Yeah, these not this ain't no this national Silver
Okay.
Gloves,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
USA national
Silver gloves, yeah.
tournaments, all the big stuff. Yeah, and
So hold
then
on,
we got so
hold on. I
many
went to the
amateur
Silver
gyms.
Glove this past year. I'm trying to think. I think it was a bunch of Cincinnati kids in the Silver
Yeah,
Glove last year.
yeah.
Yeah.
You probably heard of Rashid Warren, Nuke. He went to the Olympics like 3 times in a row. The only
Okay, yeah,
person
yeah.
to ever
Yeah,
do
I
that.
heard that name before.
He took over the gym. His Coach Mike, rest in peace of Coach Mike. He took over the
Yeah.
coaching down there. He got a bunch of kids too. And the
Okay.
emergent man, we got so many gyms, man. We got gym and these young guys is like they ain't to be played with, man. Bless me. But
But
yeah, man, when you ever wanna try to tap into that world, I could try to tap you in with some people, man. We got that for sure.
yeah, I know it's a lot of places I want to actually tap into. I had an offer from uh if you know who Carlos Dixon is.
No, I'm
Uh,
not. I'm not.
I've heard
Carlos,
the name.
he had a junior WBC belt, and he's from here. And his father James um, is a promoter here that's gave me a ton of information. Um, like the majority of the information that I have gotten as trying to figure this out, this promoting lane or whatever, it came from James. And he like he does amateur shows and stuff like that, and he does pro shows and gives me, pointers and tips and this and the other. But he offered for me to go to Vegas with him to meet some people in Vegas in the boxing
Okay.
space.
Oh
So I'm
yeah.
trying to hopefully after we get through with this bourbon and boxing thing and I can take a little break, I can go and try to, actually start traveling and meeting places. Cincinnati was definitely on my radar because the dude, Charles from the local Louisville fight, he always talks about Cincinnati, Nashville, and somewhere in Virginia, he always talks about. He's like, we
Yeah.
got to go up there and just kind of network and stuff so I get to know some people. Because, like I said, if you have any type of talent, that's a dude. This is random. This is out of left field. This just popped in my head. But there's a dude in Indianapolis named Johnny Morrison that I'm saying I'm kind of been following him a little bit, and he's like he's the type of person. He's a firefighter turned boxer, and he is a dog. He's just like a dog. You know what I'm saying? He might be like 3-0 or something like that. But those are the type of people that I think that my platform can benefit.
Yeah. You
So
can give them that an opportunity for somebody to actually see this guy when
yeah,
he may not ever get that opportunity.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
Or,
you know
So
what's so crazy, Jeff? I might have Twan meet us up there. He stay in Indiana somewhere. I might have him meet us
yeah,
up there too. I
yeah.
might I might see what he got going that Friday and see if he
I
could
noticed
come to the event.
Indiana. Indiana has a lot of boxing events, man. There's a
Yeah,
lot that goes on in that state, and I didn't really realize it because I started looking up a lot of amateur boxing. And I'm thinking Cincinnati would have tons of events going on here in Cincinnati. We're lacking with the talent that we have. We're not
you
putting
know
on
what?
these
I
amateur
feel like
events
we
the
lacking
way I think
because
they should.
all our boxers get well. Not I ain't gonna say all the boxers, but most of them get grabbed up. That's all that get they get big deals where like it's like, and then they ain't the last. I know AB, he was throwing like little events at the casino, but it done fell out. I know he done through an event. That probably was a minute ago, but yeah, we lacking. But like I said, our it's like the pro level slowed down. Like, but these kids that's about to be coming,
Yeah, yeah. It's
I'm not, bro.
youth
I'm not
amateur.
lying to you. When
Uh,
these kids that's about to be coming, it's the next way, bro. Yeah, we good. We good.
You
Give
say
us
that about
another five
Ohio.
years, we good, man. We
Kentucky's
yeah,
the
we
same
good.
way. We don't do enough as many events. I feel like that needs to happen. And then I mean, on top of that, like I said already, it's like I feel like that me making this platform and Bourbon and Boxing is not going to be the only promotion that I do. Um, Bourbon and Boxing is going to be one platform that I feel, but we're also working on other promotions that we want to do to where we're constantly doing something to keep those eyeballs on us. Cause I want to build something for the city also. Like if you knew me in the military when I was in the Marine Corps, I was pumping Louisville. I was
yeah.
rapping Louisville hard, you know what I'm saying? It's like I have gotten into physical altercations with people because they was talking like, oh, I didn't know it was black people in Kentucky. I got dirt roads, you wear shoes, you be barefooted all the time. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm from the city. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
Bro, you
nah,
know,
that's how y'all. That's how Louisville people act, though. For sure. I done been now
yeah.
for real. I know. I know for sure.
yeah,
I know.
I'm a
I ain't gonna
Kentucky
say
boy,
how I
man.
know, but just know I know. But
yeah.
I got people. I got family in Kentucky though. But they more like in the sticks. Like I got people, but I got people in like Lexington. I probably got people in Louisville too. But I
Yeah.
got people in like Cynthiana,
Oh,
Indiana,
okay,
Cynthiana,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Kentucky.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, about Paris and all
My
that.
family's
But I
Okay,
around
got
yeah.
family all
Green
over Kentucky
Mansion.
because that's where my great grandmother and my great grandfather from. Like that's where my last name come from, Kentucky. Like it ain't no, that's not no Cincinnati last name. It's from Kentucky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Kentucky
Yeah.
born and raised
yeah,
myself, man. Lived in
yeah.
the northern part of Kentucky most of my life, right across from Cincinnati. Family down in southern Kentucky, Ashland, Bowling Green, places like that down
Yeah.
there. Uh, used to go down there for the summers. Fun time, man. Elliott County used to go cliff jumping. You know, you get with them good old boys down there, man. They'll take you. They'll take you out in the middle of the woods. He was like, don't touch this, don't touch that, don't touch this. Let's jump off this 90-foot cliff. Like, hold
Yeah.
on, man. What you mean? Like, I ain't jumping off that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I know how I get like my family actually originated kind of outside of Louisville, but we kind of migrated here or whatever. And like our family reunions be like, yeah, y'all crazy as hell. It's like you
yeah,
be
yeah.
doing all kind of
It's
crazy
all
stuff.
fun, though. It's all fun,
Yeah,
man.
it's
There ain't
all
nothing
fun.
but
Yeah, you
kids.
know,
They're
I'm not
all about
jumping off nobody's
stuff.
cliff. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. That's it. Tell us about these guys you got on the card, man. Who is it that like who's the guy that that
Who
you're most
stand
looking
out?
at? Who stands out for you? But give all these guys some love on the show, man. Let people know who's your card from top to bottom, man. Who's your main card going down to your starting event?
Well, the I know more of the like some of the main characters or whatever because like I don't have the I wish I had prepared and got the card in front of me. But the main event, Deontay Pettigrew, they call him the handsome heavyweight. Um, I'm not very. It's not very often that I feel small next to somebody, but this dude's like 6'7". He might be like I don't even know how much he weighs. I know he's bigger than me, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's like he's the WBC Fear Car Box heavyweight champion. It's one of the WBC belts that they have, and he's fighting a dude named Keith Barr. And that's the main event. And then of course Denzel Negron, he's a local guy here, and we still trying to fix somebody actually for him to face. We got a guy from Washington D.C., LeVay Lawrence, that's going to be on the card. Olivia Curry, she's currently on Box Rec. She's number 7 welterweight, I believe, in the country. She's working on I can't remember what her opponent's name is, but the card is listed on Box Rec and everything. I'd have to pull it up, but we got a number of guys from Chicago area that's coming in. And like I said, I'm really excited. Who I'm really excited to see, I'm really excited to see Olivia, because she got some savage blows that she's giving people that I'm excited to see. So and then for me, with a female being in the boxing ring, I know a couple of them that I pay attention to, but this is going to be exciting for me because there's one that Bobby talks highly of, and him too, because people talk highly of him also.
Okay.
But yeah, we got a number of people that's like in the 3-0, 5-0, 4-0. Like it's a couple of people. It's a lot of O's on there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of undefeated fighters is gonna be facing each other.
Some
So it's gonna
O's
be
gotta
good to
go,
see.
and somebody O gotta go real
Yeah,
early.
somebody gotta go.
Go ahead and plug this for the people, man. Let them know how they can get a hold of tickets. We know the date, but let everybody know what the date is, where they can get tickets at. Give them all that information so they can get on there and get on board with this before September 13th comes up.
So September the 13th, Bourbon and Boxing at Caesars Casino, Southern Indiana. You can go to bourbonandboxingllc.com and get your tickets that way, or you can go to Eventbrite, type in Bourbon and Boxing in the search bar, and come up, and it'll take you right there. On the website and on Eventbrite, there's a phone number. If you want to get you a table, there's a phone number on both websites that you can call to get you a table if you want to sit at the table around the ring or whatever. It's going to be a good night, man. It's going to be a great night of boxing. I'm excited. I'm super excited. It's been a long time coming. Ups and downs, people in, people out, all of that. I'm really excited to see this event go. And like I said, those 2 places is where you can get tickets. And just come on out, man. We got a DJ from Vegas. We took all the bells and whistles and got to everything. We got special guest Butterbean, the legendary Butterbean is gonna be ringside.
That's his boy.
I'm excited to see him. Because he was going through it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He was going through it for a minute. So to see him out and getting out in the public again, that's gonna be awesome to see him out there. And some of the dignitaries from Louisville and the Kentucky area, commissioners and all this and all that's gonna be coming in. It's gonna be a great night of boxing, man.
Okay, that's what's up,
yeah,
bro.
man. I'm super pumped for man.
I'm happy. I'm over here happy for you. I feel like it's gonna be a great event, bro. I feel
seeing
real
how
good, man.
how
I
hard
can't
he's
wait to
worked.
come. I can't wait to come, bro. I ain't gonna lie,
Oh
man.
yeah,
I
I've
want to
already
see
told
it,
my
man.
job I ain't there that day. I've already told my girl, hey, me and Spade going to she's like, you got 2 tickets. I said, me and Spade, peace.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure because like even when I started doing like coming up with the Bourbon and Boxing thing, and I started typing in on the computer trying to see if there's everything named after Bourbon and Boxing because I didn't want to disrespect nobody in the first place. And I know there's been promotions.
Yeah.
There's been one in Oak City, Kentucky, or Oak something, Kentucky, where they had that at a casino, and it's been a couple around and this and other. And I seen Jeff had the podcast, and I was like, man, I really want to use his name because his name is like Bourbon and Boxing for a boxing event. Bourbon, and then you add boxing to it. I was like, that's good. So I made sure I reached out to you. I was like, man, I really want to do this, man. I hope you don't have a problem with it. And he was about it. And I was like, that's good shit.
Because it's got to do with boxing, and it can't do anything but bring positive, positive shit to us. The name Bourbon and Boxing is like you said. I was like, man, what's 2 things I love? I said, man, I love to drink a little bit of bourbon. on the weekend, and I love watching my boxing. So why, that's a great name for anything, especially an event to where people
And then I
love drink it, watch those fights, man. It's a good combination.
Yeah, and I actually thought about that. It's like, what's one of the biggest things in the state of Kentucky? Bourbon. It's freaking. I think they said it was at one. There's 93 distilleries, bourbon distilleries in the state. I was like, okay, bourbon. And if you go to anything in Louisville and they have bourbon and beyond, uh, 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 all these different bourbon events that they have in Louisville, and they be packed in there. So I was like, you know what? Let me take that bourbon crowd and tie it in with the boxing crowd, and then see how that goes or whatever. But I mean, even before I came up with that, my sister used to play for my god sister used to play for the University of Louisville, and she works for Beam Suntory. So you know what I'm saying, she said, "Why don't you call it bourbon and boxing?" I was like, "Yeah, that's a good name," because I was sitting over trying to think of a name for the whole thing, and it was going to be catchy, and to have the bourbon community to come in. And eventually what I want bourbon and boxing to be is people, the distilleries come in, bring their high price bourbon and stuff, and this and other. We have a bourbon tasting and the options and all of that. I want to add all of that into it because I want to make bourbon boxing. I want bourbon and boxing to be like a weekend event type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boxing, maybe a little concert, bourbon tasting or the silent auction. If I can we'll use some of our connections to get to some like Evander Holyfield. We invited him also. We invited a number of old school boxers, and hopefully a lot of them show up. But I know for sure Butterbean's coming, and I think Evander will be there also. But I really ain't got a confirmation on yet. But we invited a bunch of them, and they had the option to show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, Caesars is doing us wonderfully. To take a really good care of us and everything, and they excited about it just as much as we are. So it's gonna be a hell of a night, man.
Heck yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, man. I was excited to get you on the show so that you could, talk about it and let people know about the event, man. I've been trying to get you on here for a while. We've been trying to collab, for about a year now. It was great to get you on here, man. Get a face to face with you for the first time and actually get to talk to you, man. Because I feel like we had that same connection, man. We both love boxing. We both had that same interest and stuff like that, and of course, it's just what we love to do here, and loved having you on, man. If you want to continue with us as we jump into the show today, you're more than welcome. My guy Big Spade, you got any more questions for our guy, or
Nah, I just can't wait to meet him face to face, man, and go to the event, man.
that's what
I'm over here thinking about the event now.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna
like,
be a good
okay.
time too, man. Because me and Griff, when me and Griff is doing something, we got something going on, and I mean Anna, of course, too. But when me and Griff been doing this since 2012, we've been doing sporting events since 2012. And when
That's
we get
lit,
people to
bro.
come in, we done had Steven Jackson come in the city, and we take care. And when you come in the city, we make sure you have a good time, take good care of you, and all that. So I'm excited for y'all to come down too and get to check out the city and check out the boxing event, the scene, and all that. This and all. Just have a good old time. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Now I do got a question for you, man. When we're there, am I allowed to take footage, not go live with it? Do it after the show, put it on my page or whatever.
Yeah,
Am I allowed to take some footage while I'm there? Do we have permission to get
You
some
are for
footage?
sure. You are for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because
Awesome, man.
I mean, like I said, when I first started this, and I've told Griff also and Anna, it's like this guy. When I talked to him the first time, and he already had his bourbon and boxing thing going, and this and the other, and he was all cool for me to be able to also do a bourbon and boxing event, and this and the other. Anything he want to do, like what I'm saying. If you can connect with us, hell, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. We can make this one big old thing. So you know what I'm saying. You good all the way through, you know what I'm saying, because like we had a positive interaction when I first started this, and for me, I'm just a loyal guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very transparent about everything I do. So, you know what I'm saying? You good with me forever as
man.
far as I'm concerned. Till you cross me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Nah,
Any more questions for him, Big Spade?
Nah, man. I told you I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to see it,
No,
man.
I
I
know.
can't wait to
I'm
be
counting
there,
down, man. I
man.
already told my jobs I ain't coming in. I took paid off days, everything. Put my request in a month ago. I said, as soon as he told me about it, I said, hey, September 13th, I can't work. Like, it's
Yeah,
done.
man. Yeah, man.
Working.
Yeah, like I said, man, September the 13th, the Caesars Casino, Southern Indiana is going down. And I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. But yeah, I'm gonna scoot out because I'm already getting the side eye from the wife. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I'm already been told I got to get dinner done, and I'm like, come on, man, stop harassing me. But I ain't
Yeah.
say that to her. I said it to myself. She
See,
ain't
I
hear
had
me.
to
Say
I
it.
had to
I'm going
creep
there.
off.
Yeah, go on.
My
Yeah,
girl will say something when I'm done. It took you that was long. Baby, sometimes we get deep.
yeah, just get deep,
Yeah,
man.
the
Especially when you talk
conflict.
about boxing. And here's another little tidbit of information that I got. I'm trying to work this out. Even if he just come to one of my events, I'd be awesome. My wife is Japanese, and I've been trying to work through her some back channels over there to get the Inouye, just to
Ooh.
have
You're gonna
him
be,
come to the fight. Just
you're
That
come.
gonna be talking about him today.
Yeah, because that dude right there, boy.
He fights tomorrow. He fights tomorrow. Tomorrow, 2:30 a.m. in the U.S. But
Yeah, that's why I always catch his fights after the fact. I've caught maybe once or twice where I was sitting there woke, just sitting there watching or whatever. But yeah, man, that dude right there, he's
yeah,
special. He is special. Anytime you got multiple knockouts where you punching people in their stomach and their body and they go into bed, it's just yeah, you're a special dude.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
want to
I'm
see
working in back channels. I'm trying to work in back channels to get him to just come to
him.
one of my events.
Get him
That'd be
over here in the
freaking.
States,
That'll
man.
be a
That's what
game
we've
changer.
been talking about. Get him over here in the States, man. That's where we want to see him. We want to get him that U.S. exposure, man. I've been saying that. He don't have to come here. Like, dude selling 50,000 seats in Japan every single fight,
Yeah,
50,000 plus.
he's killing
So
it
he's
over
like, he don't need us, but man, we'd love to see him over here in the
there. Yeah,
daytime instead of, I get up at 5 a.m. for work, so I get to catch most of that. Like right around the time he starts fighting, 5 or 6 o'clock.
yeah,
I'm to work. I got it on my phone to the side, just watching it as I'm working.
yeah,
Something like that. So, but
yeah.
most of the people don't get
That
to
dude is
go.
special.
Yeah, he definitely is, man. He's something special to watch. Tomorrow. I'm not big on his fight tomorrow. I would have rather seen him fight uh, the guy from Goodman, Sam Goodman. I would have rather seen him fight Sam
Yeah,
Goodman at this point. But he's fought two good opponents, three good opponents in a row. So he's taking a little step down fight versus TJ Doheny. I think TJ something. I
Delaney,
can't.
Delaney.
Yeah, and I don't think it's Elaine. It's like Dahani. I got him on the thing down here, but yeah, he's fighting him, and that's my Sebastian Fedora. Yeah,
Duhaney?
yeah, yeah, Doheny. Yeah, Doheny. You're right. Yeah, he's fighting him, which dude's okay, but he's not on that level. He's lost against all his big opponents. So this to me is kind of a step back fight for in a way. He might surprise me, but I don't see it happening. I think in a way it gets him out pretty early.
Who else would you like to see him? Because looking through that weight around that weight class, who's out there for him to fight?
I
You
I
want to know
I
who
me
you think?
I
Go
me
go
I
go ahead.
honestly said he need to go up and fight Shushu. I think him and Shushu would be a good fight.
Oh, here's a little bit of information. One of the dudes on the card, his trainer is one of the trainers for Shushu.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Okay.
LeVay. I think LeVay's trainer is
Okay.
training Shushu also. I talked to him on the phone. So
But I also want more because Jeff got me hip. I hope I don't take this from Jeff.
Know who
Like,
you going. That's exactly who I want
oh,
to
go
see.
ahead then, Jeff. I don't want to take it from you. You
He,
know we think alike. I
he
don't
got
want
he
to.
got to fight Bam Bam Rodriguez. That's one of the biggest fights in boxing. If Bam
Yeah,
comes
that'd
up,
be nice.
he's got to fight Bam Rodriguez. That would be a banger of a fight at 120. What's he at right now? In a way,
126 and
122.
I
one
think
Is
twenty
he?
what is
two.
he?
Yeah, my
Is
bad, my bad.
featherweight? Junior's featherweight, I think he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in a way, would our Bam would have to come up a couple, but man, he's definitely able to do it, and I think that would be the fight for Inoue at this point. I like Shushu, but I don't know if Shushu's ready for an Inoue quite yet.
you
I
know
think
what's so
Bam is
crazy
definitely.
though? Shushu, a older prospect too. It's crazy.
He is. I
Like
keep forgetting he's
how
like
you
28
how
years old.
good
I
if you
do
at
keep
your
forgetting.
if you at your pinnacle. That's what I want. Like, cause you 27. So is you like at your pinnacle? Like, could you get better? I mean, you can always get better in whatever you do if you put the work in. But can you? Is you at your pinnacle? Cause you 27, bro.
So here's
I thought
the
he
thing
was.
though. It seems like a boxer's prime has changed over the years. It used to be in your 20s, but it's starting to seem like now it's like once you start getting into the 27, 28, 30,
Yeah,
31 range, that's when they
yeah,
start getting at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with technology and the
Yeah,
ability for these guys to work out their bodies and re-heal their bodies in ways that you weren't able to 30,
yeah,
40, 50 years ago, man. I mean, the technology, I mean, you look at a guy like LeBron James. I mean, he's almost 40 years old, and the guy's out here playing like he's 20, and you keep waiting for him to lose that step. Like, oh man, Father Time's gonna catch him. Father Time's gonna catch him.
I ain't
But
waiting for him to lose no step.
he just keeps denying it. He just
you see
keeps denying
his game is changing because he's starting to lose a step, but he's still
Yeah,
mounts ahead of anybody else back in the day that was his
that.
age
I'm
because
not
of
Exactly.
gonna lie.
technology.
His
Yeah.
step, you could tell because that airtime when he going up for dunks ain't how it used to be. I ain't gonna lie, I realized
Now
that
he
he still get up there. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but that airtime ain't as long as it
yeah,
used to
because
be,
when he
man.
jumped up there to catch that lob from Steph in the
Yeah, yeah,
hey
yeah.
yeah,
That's a,
and
yeah.
then when
That's
he
exactly
came
what
down
I'm
like an
talking about.
OG.
And it,
You dig? I was like, oh
hey,
man,
that's so crazy because that's exactly what I'm talking about. When I
yeah.
seen that, I'm like, oh yeah,
As you
I
know,
can
that's the
see.
first thing goes. Like I used to play ball. I'm 6'5". I used to play ball. And you know, when you start figuring out that you start to lose a step, it's like you go to the basket real hard, lay the ball up, and when you come down, it take you about 3, 4 steps to stop going that way before you turn around. Yeah. Yeah, you
he's
know, he started to get like that, a couple of steps, you know what I'm saying? Maybe dive
Yeah.
into the crowd to soften the blow a little bit. Yeah, he be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
heck yeah. Heck yeah, man.
Well,
That's it. Yeah.
man, it was good talking to y'all, man. And I mean, I can't wait to meet y'all guys when y'all come in, man. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm just excited, man. I've been smiling for about a month now.
I
Like,
feel
you
the
know, just
energy. I
random,
feel the energy, bro. I feel it. I'm
especially when
smiling
you know
too. I
people are
feel like we throwing
people.
the vent with you.
Yeah, people, and I'm not a person. I don't brag on myself at all. I'm very
Yeah.
humble. You know what I'm saying? People at work walking up to me, is like, bro, I didn't know you was promoting boxing. And he's like, why you ain't say nothing? It's like, you didn't ask. I
Yeah.
don't say, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna say that or whatever. But now people starting to take notice about it, this and the other. And though I'm not a big guy who likes a guy that likes attention or nothing like that, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I know the relationships I've built over the years can benefit somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So if I gotta be bothered by cameras and I'm supposed to do an interview with WHAS here pretty soon. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it because what I'm saying, it's building a platform. It's gonna benefit some people that I've come to know, and I know that if I could do this and make this platform for somebody, it's can't do nothing but help.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know how it be like when like how rookies first they be not they when you first get in you but once you get your foot in the door it's just like it's stuff you gotta do that you ain't used to doing. You
Yeah,
gotta let your wings spin. I mean, still keep your humbleness and be grateful that you in that position. But you know how to do it. You know how to do it, man. Cause
yeah.
when them
Yeah.
doors open, you can't be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh
Nah,
yeah, I
I'm
take
at
that.
bust through that man, boy. You dig? Like I said, I'm gonna do
Kick him
what I
up.
gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
always gonna do what I gotta do. But you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just, it just. I hope. What my hope is if it for me to go through this situation, is the people that are on the card and the boxers that's on the card and the fighters and the promoters, any promoter or any manager, any boxer, you know what I'm saying, that gets on his card or whatever, is on the undercard, that gets noticed by anybody, that's gonna be my prize for me to, you know what I'm
oh
saying?
yes, sir. Yes,
Just for
sir.
that to happen for sure. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely. Once
Yes,
again,
sir.
man, TJ, we can't thank you enough for coming on, man. I appreciate it so much. and definitely appreciate the invite to the event. We're super hyped. We're going to be there front row. Like I said, you know what I mean? So, hyping you guys on, letting everybody know. I'm going to be telling I've already been telling everybody, but I'm going to continue to tell everybody as many people as we can, man. And it was great having you on, especially telling us your story on how you came about to do this, man, because I know you have started from absolute bottom to move your way up in this industry that you didn't. You said you were in other sports, so this was all new for you. So for
Yeah,
you to be able to come up and be at this point right now, I think you're moving really, really well, and I think you're doing it the right way. And it's a lot of inspiration to me for somebody who started this as a hobby to say, "Hey, I want to take me and Spade want to take bourbon and boxing on our part to a whole nother level and start being, in the gyms and start doing things and, just start getting us moving in the right direction and seeing you do what you did inspires me and I'm sure inspires my boy Spade to do what
Nah,
we
for
need to do
sure.
on our
That's why I
yeah.
can't wait to come to even get more inspired. That's that's
Yeah.
that's the I like to see the grind and the work, man.
yeah.
That's why I want to come. I want to see like, damn, oh, he, yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see. I want to get inspired, like Jeff said about how you grinding. I like to see somebody grinding, man. That inspires me. That inspires me for sure. I can't wait to
Appreciate
come,
it. I
bro.
appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you even giving me a opportunity to come on the show and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful.
For sure,
Yeah.
man.
Heck yeah. I don't want to get you in too much trouble with your wife, but if you want to hang around, you can. But if you don't want to get in trouble, I already know. I understand.
I'll definitely come back on and get with you guys. You know what I'm saying? And I
Okay.
appreciate the invitation, man. I'll catch y'all next time, man.
Okay, bro.
Absolutely. Man, hey, thank you for
All right,
jumping
mate.
on, man.
All
All
Yep.
right,
right.
brother. All right, man. A nice little interview with our guy there, man. Like I said, met him little over a year ago, man. He just reached out to me because, like he said, he was planning on doing an event, bourbon and boxing, seeing that we had already had the name, and just out of pure respect, reached out to me. Hey,
That's
this is what I'm
lit.
looking to do.
That's bro.
What do you
That's
think about it? Like, are you cool with it? And I said, look, man, it can't bring any negativity to me, bro. Like, all it can do
bro.
is bring love to bourbon and boxing our name.
Bruh, and that's so player lit. That's just like, cause you will have somebody else trying to be sneaky and do it and be like, oh,
Yeah,
they ain't big enough. They ain't got.
yeah,
Let me
and,
see
and
they
at that
juice. This
time,
one he has
yeah,
it. Hey, yeah, I got
yeah.
good vibe
We had
energy from
just started, so he didn't
TJ,
have to
bro.
come to me. Like you said, he could have been like, "Oh, this dude, he just a little YouTube guy. I don't have to respect that name, but he did, man, and that showed a lot of respect to me, and it showed me a lot about his character and who he is, man. And I respect people like that, man. Nothing but love for him. All right,
Yeah.
man. We into the show now, baby. We into the show. We got some talk going here. I don't know what kind of topics you got for us, Big Spade, but you know
Oh, I got
what we're
something
gonna
for
lead
you.
off.
I you know I got
I
that
know
bone
you
to
was gonna
pick with you.
take up my ass about something, but let's start out with what we know the top topic of
Go
the
ahead.
week. No getting around this topic, my guys. It's all talk, no walk for Boots versus Norman, man. What is going on? You got two top guys in the division. I don't care if Norman's 23 years old, and I don't care what their ages are. They both have a belt. This fight didn't go through like we wanted it to, and according to Eddie Hearns, to the Norman Jr. fight falling through, he said, "Look, we offered him 1 million. We offered him 1.2 million. We offered him over 1.5 million, and they said we weren't even close." What's your thoughts on that, my guy? Did I lose your audio?
Nah, you good. You good. I put it
Okay,
on mute
good.
for a second. I was talking to my
Okay.
daughter, but man, what I'm thinking, man, I heard so much stuff and so much good stuff, bro. It's like I go with this, then I go with that, but it's like, man, for real, okay. I'm gonna take this route, bro. Boots got the bigger name. Yes, we do know that. But I feel like damn, bro. I don't wanna be biased. Boots got the bigger name. Boots more known. He sold out of event in Philly. We know that.
3 million. 3 million off that event he made.
He also named been in there with Terrence Crawford, which is a world class A fighter.
Yeah.
So he's going to bring attention to the fight, of course. My thing is that though they both on the same level as who did more.
Because
They
nobody
eat
has a
they
championship fight,
equal with that. They equal with
and
that.
their resumes aren't impressive on either end, right?
But I
So
feel like Norman, right, just beat somebody that they expected for him to lose to.
okay.
He was the underdog.
Oh, was he in that fight? Really?
Yeah. He was the underdog.
Okay.
Well, I ain't even know dude. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know who he was.
I'd
If
watched
he wouldn't
him
have
one
won that
time
fight,
before.
bro.
One time before.
If he, yeah, I never heard of him. If he wouldn't have won that, because I really left the 147 class since Earl Spence, and you feel me? Even though Boots there, but it's like people don't want to fight him, so it's like okay. But I never heard the dude. They wanted him to lose. They said he got paid 190,000 for that fight. The
Yeah.
other, who he fight, he got paid more than him. You know who they wanted to win. Yeah, like
Yeah.
who they had. So I feel like okay, he won that. I don't man. It can wait. It can wait, but I don't want it to be like all right. If one of them guys lose, then we ain't gonna get that fight, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. If one of
But
them
I
lose,
got a
not
I
even,
got a good replacement fight for Norman.
they've already got him scheduled. But go ahead. Who you got? Who would you put him in with?
Rashidi Ellis.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But here's my thing too: is how much has Top Rank? How much is this they're doing? Because we know they don't work, especially when it comes to their stars. When they can make a big time fight, they
No,
don't fucking do it.
no,
They
it
don't
wasn't
do
them.
it.
It wasn't them
You don't
though.
think
It
it
was
had anything to do with them? You don't think that
nah.
they,
It was
when
it
it was
was
all
it,
said and
his.
done, they blocked this fight? Like,
It was. I think it was Norman and his dad. I was listening to Mill City Boxing. Shout out to him. Uh, and Zab Jr. and them, and they was saying his dad was saying basically he was at least trying to make his son come back with 1 million because of the taxes and all the money that's gonna be taken out. So he said
so
he asked for two
yeah.
point two.
So he was looking at, once
Yeah,
we
he
pay the
doing the
taxes,
math on the
once
shit.
Top
Like
Rank gets their
once
money,
these
once their
taxes and the
manager gets their
promoter get
money,
their money,
promoter gets their
what
money,
my
what's
son
my
gonna be
son
left
getting?
with. You
What's
know what
my
I'm
son gonna
saying?
get? Yeah,
And I
yeah,
understand that from the bottom. I understand that shit. That's why I got my bone to pick with you. But I understand that, right? So it's like we can wait for the fight. I feel like okay, if they don't fight each other, let them fight the two next chapter. What the fuck is we waiting for, bro? Like,
yeah. That
if it's
this,
four people with belts, what are we waiting for? What are we wait?
yeah,
What are we waiting for? Like, for real, like, what is we waiting for, man? We waiting for these guys to get knocked off and then somebody else be the champ and then we gotta wait for him to fight. No, let these
yeah,
guys fight right now. It's four people with belts. It's four
yeah,
people with belts. They need to be fighting each other. Make these like, you know what I'm saying? Barrios and Sayonis or whatever the case may be. Let's knock this shit out. So we could okay,
yeah.
after we get it undisputed, he could go ahead and move up or whatever you want to do and drop the belts and then it could be a mix up again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah,
Like
and I think it should be man. I don't know. I don't really get the point of mandatories if we're not going to make the right mandatories. Like they're literally all over Boots' ass right now to refight the Karen dude that nobody wants to fucking see.
who is
And
Karen? I don't even
yeah,
know what that
yeah,
is,
this
bro.
dude he beat already, and the I think it's the IBF is all over him that you're gonna fight this guy or we're gonna strip you. Why? Well, nobody wants to see this fucking fight again. It's a waste of time in a division where he could fight Barrios or Stanonis or he could be fighting Norman Jr. But those fights aren't being made, and then we're trying to hold these guys to weak ass mandatories that no one's even heard of. Like we're trying to make the fights nobody wants to watch, but not make the fights that people want to watch at the 147 division. I think that's a big, in the
And
division
then
where,
guess what? Guess what it's gonna come out with? Once Booth fight and he might sell out, especially if he fight in Philly, okay, whatever. If Johnson, if I mean, well, I said John, well, Brian Norman Jr., right? If he don't fight, sell out his show, or whoever he fight, that's what they gonna use now. Oh, he can't sell. Ain't nobody trying to see him fight. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's
but it's
always
like, okay. I feel like if y'all don't call off Terrence Crawford if you talking about boots, because for one, he had 147. He not gonna go up to 150, 154 to fight Terrence anyway because he's trying to be undisputed at 147, which y'all could at least just got a belt, bro. Just pay him, bro. Give him that little extra shit, bro.
yeah,
God damn.
yeah,
Give him that 2.2 so he can be a million, so he can have $1 million, bro.
yeah,
Just do it, bro. Like,
yeah.
damn. Especially
Exactly.
if you
Get
confident,
the
if you confident enough that Boots is gonna win, man, get that
yeah.
man. Y'all should be
Give
paying
him
fighters
yeah,
way more than that. For real.
yeah. Absolutely, because if you were already at over 1.5 million, according to what Hearn said, over the 1.5 million mark, and they turn it, that means you were close to the 2.2 million mark. So why
Yeah.
not just go that?
I
Okay,
heard it was two
we'll
million
give
and he
you two
asked for
mil.
two point two. I heard his
Yeah,
dad said it was 2 million. He asked for 2.2, two extra hundred punk ass $1,000, bro.
yeah. Well, now supposedly what's going on is that they've already said that he's going to defend the WBO welterweight world title against Derek Cervase on the Keyshawn undercard November 8th. They've already
Oh,
called that.
okay, okay.
Immediately, they're like, okay, well, you're not going to fight Boots, then you got to fight your mandatory. The WBO has ordered him to fight Derek Cervase, and that's supposed to be on the undercard. Now, I don't think anything's signed on this yet, so it's just kind of rumors right now that that's who they're wanting to match him up with now. But then he's going to go into this fight and maybe make what he made in his last fight, because he's not going to be the main card. He's going to go back to being
No,
the undercard,
no.
and he's going to go back to maybe $200,000, $300,000, which is good money. Don't
Let
get
me
me wrong for a
let me
fight.
say
I'm
this real
not
quick.
dogging that.
Let me say this real quick. His dad said now there is a boxing minimum, and he said I guess what Eddie Hearn was trying to give him at first 1.7, 1.5. He said his son would make that in three
Okay.
fights. So I don't think he gonna get paid what he did his leg because he a champion. He got a belt now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his name, he did good. He did. I like what he did. Since Boots did that with Terrence Crawford, I like what he did. He put his name out
Yeah.
there.
Same thing. Put your name out there. Now people are
Yeah.
like, who's Brian Norman Jr.? They
And
start
guess
looking
what?
him up.
I ain't just put my name out there with a because I want to fight and I ain't got nothing going on. I got a belt. So yeah, he put his name
Yeah.
out there the right way for sure. Even though they ain't get the belts the right way, I was sorry. I apologize too. I think they did email him his belt,
Yeah,
but
I think they did because I looked up and I thought
but
like
he
I think
wasn't. But when he get emailed the belt after he beat dude,
after he supposed no, it wasn't after he beat dude. It was once Crawford officially vacated the belt. Then they just handed it
so
to
he
him.
went into the fight the champion.
Yeah, he like none of them like that's the only thing that's the issue I've had with the 147 division. And I've never seen a division where all four of the guys have been emailed from a vacated belt from Crawford who said, "Nah, I don't want it anymore." And then they're like, "Okay, now you're the champ." They're not even saying like, and it's weird because they're just picking guys. Like it's not like, well, you and you should fight each other, and the winner is going to be the next champ. They're just like, "Hey, you're the champ now." Boxing doesn't work that fucking way, man. And that to me,
But I'm
that's
saying this is
aggravating,
what I'm
man.
trying to say. He was the underdog, right? So I'm
Mhm.
saying when he fought his last fight, did he already have that belt? Or did they give him the
No, no,
belt
no, no,
after
no.
he won that
No,
fight?
he got it. He got it. He just got the belt, if I'm correct, a week or 2 weeks ago. They just
Oh,
gave him
so
because
it was after that
yeah,
fight then. It was after that
yeah,
fight.
it was after
Okay.
the fight
So
when he
why
had
they ain't
gotten
just
the
make the
belt.
put the why they ain't just use it for a vacant title fight, bro, to make it make
And
sense?
if you want these guys to fight each other and you don't want to hear this, well, I'm not going to get paid enough and I'm not going to get paid enough shit, then you should have never gave these guys the belt. You should have put them up and gave
For
them
a
no
vacant
choice.
fight,
If
bro.
you
Vacant
want
belt.
that belt, you hang it on a thing. You want this belt,
Right.
get in the motherfucking ring and you fight this
WWF,
guy
man.
who wants that
WWF.
belt too.
Climb that
Yeah,
ladder, motherfucker, and get
yeah,
that belt.
exactly. A ladder match, man. You want that motherfucker? Get in the ring and you're gonna fight the best
Yeah,
guy
I ain't
that
noticed.
we think
See,
you should fight.
that's
Like it's
crazy.
unreal,
They
bro.
should have just made him fight for a vacant belt, bro.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
It doesn't
It'd
make
make
sense.
more
It
sense,
doesn't.
bro. No, nobody want. Oh, I beat him. Oh, y'all think I deserve the belt? No, nah, shitty,
Yeah,
bro.
it's all I deserve the belt, but none of these guys have fought one champion on their resume. Maybe Barros actually has. I can't say Barrios hasn't because he fought Tank, and I
He
think he had
fought
another.
he fought Tank, he fought Thurman, he fought
Yeah.
Ugas.
He's fought some champions and
He fought
probably has the
Ugas.
best resume of all of these guys. To be honest,
Right,
has the best resume at 147. And
right.
Sanonis didn't fight for almost 3 fucking years.
I don't even know who the fuck
Just
that is,
fought.
bro.
He's the dude that fought on the Tank undercard. It was his first fight in 3 years that he'd been back in the ring. No real reason that because I know he had 3 fights against Virgil Ortiz that got set off because of Virgil's health. So that put him back, but he never rescheduled fights, and there was no real reason for him to be out of the ring for almost 3 years. But then he comes back, he fights in July on the Tank undercard, if I'm correct. I might be wrong. It might have been another undercard, but he fought on one of the undercards. I wasn't super impressed with how he looked. Of course, ring rust after 3 years, and then they email him a belt. And I'm like, this dude has fought once in 3 years, and you're going to email this guy a fucking belt? He has fought not one opponent that you would be like, oh, that guy's a good opponent, or that guy's a top contender. Not even a top contender on his list. It's embarrassing for boxing, honestly. It shouldn't be like that. It's
Right.
truly just and doesn't make any sense to me how that goes. But I think boxing, this is where I think I don't know, man. I really truly like I don't buy that top rank doesn't have something to do with it. I just feel like they set behind the scenes to make it look like, oh no, we're not stopping Shakur from fighting any big fights, but we're not going to give him this a pay to fight because we don't want to work with Golden Boy, even though they work with Golden Boy all the time. So how the fuck that fight didn't happen?
Hmm.
We're not going to put him up against Raymond Mortala, who we have in house. We're not going to put him up against Loma, who we have in house. And then they make it come off like, well, it's a fighter. He wants this much money. I think behind the scenes, Top Rank goes, well, I want this much money. And the fighters go, well, goddamn, if we give them that, then what the fuck do I got? Like, Norman dad said, well, what does my son get after everybody's got their hand out? He ain't
Right.
going to get $1 million. He's going to get under $1 million, and he's the one in the ring fighting. So I can't disagree with that. But let's go ahead and what's your beef with me, bro? What's your beef with me? What you
Oh,
got?
nah. I, I, I just you just now it seemed like you kind of switching it up now. But on your Facebook, that on the Facebook Bourbon and Boxing page when we was talking, you said you said you think Brian Norman Sr. need to step back. And I just wanted to say, like, we both acted fathers, right?
Yeah.
We both had boys or a son, right?
And you're always going to look out for your son's best
What
interests, which he was when you sum it up. It wasn't about him. It was about what is my son going to get when this is all said and done. He wasn't making it about him. The reports. You got to read more into stuff sometimes. I don't always read directly into
okay,
stuff, and then I
okay,
catch myself
okay.
later on and be like, damn. So they made it. A headline could be Norman's father don't want this fight to happen.
Oh, so you
And you'd be
okay,
like, oh
okay,
shit. So, I
okay,
read a
okay.
little
I
bit
got you.
into it and
I
they make
got
it
you.
out like his dad is the reason
I
this
could
doesn't get done.
Nah, I
But
could
then when
tell though, cause you start what you start saying. I'm like, damn, I don't even got no bone to pick with him no more. But that's why
yeah.
I was just like, it seemed like you kind of okay. I got you though. Well, shit, then.
Well, it was also you kind of gave me the more of the insight about what his father had said. Like, man, when it's all said and done, my son's not gonna get $1 million fucking dollars,
Right.
and we get this much money,
Mm.
then he's gonna get paid $1 million. And then, like you said, he's also made the point that hey, he can fight 3 lesser opponents that aren't Boots Ennis, and the risk that he's going to take fighting a guy like Boots this young in his career because he's only 23 years old, he can go make 1.7 million fighting 3 lesser guys that we know that might be guaranteed wins for him. So
Yeah.
that's easy money in the bank right there, rather than hey, we're going to go get less than $1 million to fight Boots Ennis, and if we lose this, that's a mark on my young guy's record.
Right.
So yeah, no doubt. Looks like the WBO has reportedly they've issued that this fight will happen. Roberson Concepcion versus Oshaki Foster rematch is reportedly happen for November 2nd.
Okay.
Now they made it clear to Roberson Concepcion that he was not to fight anybody else until he refought Shockey Foster, which we saw that fight last time it happened. And instead of this fight
Robbery.
happening right now. But you
Robbery.
you said it. You not only robbed Oshaki Foster, but you robbed boxing fans of seeing him fight Roach right now and
Man.
fighting Concepcion, and we would have had one of these guys with two belts in that 130 division. So you not only robbed Oshaki Foster, but you robbed boxing fans of seeing a better fight now on November 2nd. Instead, we got to rewatch a massacre that we already freaking watched. And we like Concession isn't a pushover, but I think Oshaki needs to send a message.
I think Osaki gonna come out aggressive.
He is. He even said it. He said, "Look, I played. I played around. I wanted to get some rounds. I wanted to test some things out. I was controlling the whole fight, so it was a good time for me to kind of test and try new things, or do something that I've learned in training."
That was like the Timmy Bradley and Pacquiao still. Like
God, one of the biggest robberies you'd ever seen,
hey, and
and
I ain't even like look, I swear to you. I'm not a Pacquiao fan. I didn't even like Pacquiao, bro. And I said, bro, they just cheated the shit out of
yeah,
him, bro.
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about
That
bro. But I feel like Oshaki Foster, he still gonna have to be he gonna have to be careful because dude might come out with a different game plan too. And they say he
yeah.
hit hard, so he got some power. So, you
Well,
know.
I told you my biggest issue with Concession is just not consistent. He has all the ability. He's just not a consistent guy. We saw how he fought against Navarrete, right? Perfect
Mhm.
fucking game plan. Counter him every fucking time he comes in. He set that fight up perfect. And you could have maybe gave him the win against Navarrete. But he set that fight up perfect on, catching him as he was coming in, staying focused. But he's not a consistent guy like that. So you never, like you said, he is dangerous because you don't know what Concession you're going to get. He's probably not going to be the same guy that you just fought, coming in. And if he's on his game, he's even tougher to beat for sure. And what do we got here? The WBC ordered that Sebastian Fedora must make a mandatory junior middleweight title defense against Terrence Bud Crawford, who won the interim title on August 3rd. Now, I'm hearing two different things about this, that if he doesn't make this fight, him and Crawford don't come to some kind of agreement, that it's going to go to purse bid. But I've also heard that this fight is not going to happen. That people think Crawford has bigger fish to fry, and that's not where his focus is at. Do you think Crawford wants to unify 154, or is he more about, I want to make a Canelo fight, or I want to make a bigger fight than Sebastian Fedora, or do you think that's a big fight?
That's a good fight. That's a good fight for him. Um, to be honest, I do think he want to unify, but I think he still like got his foot out there. Like, let me see what Canelo gonna do after this fight. Is he gonna fight me or Benavidez? It got to be one of the two. It got to be
Yeah.
one of the two, Canelo. So
I don't think he does. I think he'll jump over and he'll fight Pachico, who we saw this weekend before he
y-
takes either fights.
yeah, yeah. It might sound like you might sound 98%, but I don't know, man. I mean, it ain't really nobody out there fighting the fight. I don't want to see him fight Turlo. Turlo ain't got no belts no more. That'd be a good fight, but uh, go ahead and I mean, Fendora, unless they gonna try to do the rematch with Fendora and
To Zoo, which I've
that
said that,
I love to
man.
see
my,
that. I
my
love to
guy
see that.
my guy deserves that fight. My guy Tim Tszyu deserves that rematch 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and I think if you're Pandora, that's where you should be leaning, especially with the Spence thing not coming to terms like they thought. And it really they haven't really come up with a reason why that fight hasn't really
Who?
gotten. And the Spence and Fedora
I
fight, they're
told you.
just
I
kind of
told you the
slow.
reason.
Well, what was it for? Spence
Spence
is
ain't got
still
no
injured.
coach. He ain't got no
Oh, that's
coach.
he still ain't got a coach. Like, that's unreal. Like, how do you not have a, like, if you knew you were going to split ways with your guy, how do you not have somebody lined up? You're Spence. You should have plenty of people that want to be his coach, but maybe Derek James has got him blackballed right now. They're
Nah, it
saying,
ain't
hey,
about that.
some kind of manager, thing.
It ain't about that. I feel like, all right. For instance, I'm a coach. I'm coaching Earl Spence. You coach Calvin and you coach Tank. Okay, we boys. Now you ain't just about to let Spence come over there without talking to me and how you feel about it, or you know what I'm saying. So it's like
Yeah,
what you probably me, I'll probably be like, yeah, go ahead, man. You know we ain't fucking around no more. You probably could do something that I couldn't do, but
yeah,
which I could see that type of conversation going on with them. It's just like some people don't be trying to steal people fighters, bro. And then he probably like he got to find somebody he comfortable with. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's probably gonna teach him something that he feel like he need to learn. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
For
It might
me,
be over. It might be retirement time. To be honest.
honestly, man, with the damage his eye has taken, what, two, three eye surgeries he's had, I just don't think he has any. I don't think the ring is his place right now.
I ain't gonna lie,
So,
bro.
you
If
know,
he if Fedora the underdog in that fight, I'm taking Fedora. I'm taking
yeah, man,
Fedora in that
all
fight,
day.
bro. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie to you. I'm taking
I
Fedora in
like.
that fight.
Yeah, I like that size he's got. But for me, I think honestly, Terrence Crawford, to me, like right now, outside of Canelo, there's not really any big time blockbuster fight for him to make. Maybe a Boots fight,
They
but is
keep,
Boots going
but Boots ain't gonna come up, and Terrence ain't going down. That
No,
I don't
Terrence
even
ain't
know why
going down.
people keep
He ain't
talking
he ain't
about
going
that.
down.
First, they
Well, I don't
already
know.
said they want to get all the belts at 147. You think Terrence about to come back down there? Y'all done took his, he done dropped all the belts. That people need to quit even just bringing that up right now,
Here's
unless
the
Boots
thing
about to
though,
move up to
Eddie,
154, bro.
but Eddie Hearn said that with the Norman fight not happening and them trying to make the Karen fight a mandatory fight for Boots, a guy he already beat, and a fight that nobody wants to see, that there could be a chance that he vacates the IBF belt and moves to 154 as an option. So I don't. He might be looking at if we can't get these fights going.
It
Why
ain't
am I going
about
to
what
waste my time
Eddie
fighting other
Hearns.
fighters
It ain't
that I've already
his
fought?
Eddie Hearns is promoter, but it ain't about. It's about what bowls he want. His daddy,
Yeah, and
like
they
what
have
he
made it
want
clear
his
they want
son
to
to do.
unify that division. They definitely
It,
want to
and
unify it.
it ain't about Eddie Hearns, the promoter. It ain't he got he, but it ain't gonna go down like that.
Yeah,
Not
I honestly would love to see Crawford unify that 154. I just think that's. I mean, his legacy is set. But you want to talk about going down as one of the greatest
oh,
boxers
can
ever?
I? Damn,
154. Go ahead. What you got for us?
damn. Hold on, man. I think I'm missing it, man. I think I'm missing it. I didn't.
While you're thinking about that, let's talk about the fight that's going on tomorrow. We got a
I got it.
Tuesday
I
fight.
got it though. I got it. But go.
Go,
I
go
got.
ahead. Go ahead. Go with it. Go
Um,
with it.
I was hearing like Segura talk. Shouts out to Nazi. Uh, he said he feel like, and you was talking about legacy, because I feel like Terrence Crawford legacy is already sealed as well. So
Yeah.
he was talking about he need the Boots fight to be that 1% up there with Muhammad Ali, Floyd, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray. And I'm like, what? He
I don't
need to
think he
fight
does.
Boots for him to his legacy for him to be that 1% with them. I said, ain't no way. He said,
Mhm.
but he made a good thing, but it's like to each his own. It's a different era, different shit going on. He was
Yeah.
saying like people take undisputed as you the new thing now. It is the new thing now. That's what we got going now.
That's what is that's the sport now, the four belt era. We are
Yeah,
in the
that we in
era
the new
right
we in
now.
the new
So
era, new culture. Like you know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
We
Uh,
it changed. Like you know what I'm saying? Just like Floyd changed the game. It changed, bro. So it ain't gonna
Yeah.
stay everybody how it used to be is how it used to be. If we could all go back to how it used to be, I think we'll all go back to how it used to be. But it ain't no way we gonna get to back how it used to be. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's a new
So
era, new style. These guys
yeah,
got
so
the thing that they do.
did come back around again, but as sports, speaking sports, ain't nothing going back how it used to be.
No,
They
no,
don't even
everything
kick
it
in
only
football.
moves
They don't
forward.
even kick the ball the same no more.
No,
You know what I'm
no, now
saying? Hey,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so like shit gonna change. And for him to say that, I was like, damn, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
You
think
don't
he
think it
need
all.
to
No.
fight Boots for him to be in that 1%? All the shit he done came from 135, 140, 147, now at
Yeah.
154.
First
Motherfuckers ain't
fighter in the four
the
belt era.
everybody you
The,
name ain't doing that.
yeah,
Ain't ever did. Ain't too many of
exactly.
them did that.
And unifying every division he's been in pretty much. That's why I think I would put him in my 1% when if he unifies a 154, he's in the 1%, man. I mean, I think he's one of the best I've ever seen in my life.
I think
As
he
you know,
already in it, bro.
that they're walking. But I think you want to put him in the names of Sugar as far as the Mount Rushmore, the fighters that people remember to the end of time, right? And we're looking at guys like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, Floyd. These are guys that are people who are always going to they're going to be in the history books forever. I think if you got a guy like Crawford, who was the first to unify the four belt era not once but twice and does it three times, bro. That's
No,
to me
no.
that's
Don't
unreal.
say first. Not first. We did this already. Who was
He
the
was the
first that
first to
did?
unify the four belt era, right?
No.
Clarissa Shields was the first to unify more than two, right? Did she unify before
But I'm
Boosie?
saying she's still the first, no matter how many she did, she was the first to do
Sure.
two.
So let's say for the men, he was the first to unify
Okay, yeah, because I don't want
the
Carissa to
four
catch
belt
you,
era
bro.
divisions.
I
But
don't want
yeah,
her to
we don't
catch you.
want to.
I don't want her
Yeah,
to catch
yeah.
you in that
Catch
corner,
me
man.
outside
Hit
here.
you
I'm
with a
gonna come
body
back on
shot.
with a big ass black eye and be like, "Yeah, she unified my eye. See that? See it says WBC champion." You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So without throwing any shade towards Clarissa, for the men, he was the first to do it, not once but twice in the
Yeah.
four belt era for the men's boxing, and he can be the first to do it three times. Uh, and to be able to move up and dominate the way he does, I think that would put him in the 1%. And we'll see how his career ends. Also, I always say that too. Let a guy's career, play out before
Hey,
we say where he's at, or
and I just thought of something on the top of my head. I like to, because sometimes I forget, but I feel like him and Shakur are both in the same type of position.
I think
As far
Shakur.
as chasing, as far as no, let me complete it all the way out. As far as chasing greatness, he chasing Canelo and he chasing Tank. Two
Yeah,
faces of boxing right now. They trying to
yeah,
both knock the two faces of boxing right now to become the faces of boxing.
yeah.
If it was somehow, bro, listen, man, they need to come holler at me, man. If it was, and I'm telling you, it'll do nothing, bro. They'll probably have to put two stadiums together, bro. If they was somehow, some way, put Tank and Shakur,
Know what you're going.
Canelo and Terrence
Oh
Crawford on the
God,
same fucking card,
it'd be the biggest night in
bro,
boxing history, bro. Biggest night in boxing history if they were able to pull that off. And
bro.
Shakur, he's buddying up with Turkey Al Sheikh. He's buddying up with him. He's done told him, I'll fight whoever you put me in the ring with. Put him in there, I'll fight him. So he's getting good with Turkey Al Sheikh. And especially being with Hearns now, who already has that foot in the door with Turkey. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if that's how that fight gets made. But what I have seen is he's only got a 2-fight deal with Matchroom. And Matchroom does work with PBC. But my thing with PBC, man, PBC's got to get the fuck away from Amazon. This has been the most
Hey
stagnated
man, we ain't talking
motherfucking
about that
sport.
today, man. You talking
I'm
about
gonna
that?
talk about it. Amazon, get the fuck out of here, bro. You don't belong in boxing. You have been horrible for boxing. I'm gonna say it loud and clear. Fuck out of here at Amazon. Go back to Fox PBC. Run back to Fox. Beg them to allow you back on their fucking platform because this Amazon shit is a goddamn joke. You're gonna lose all your fighters before this is all done because nobody wants to only fight once a fucking year, especially these young guys. They want to get their name out there, man. And Amazon ain't the fucking platform to do it. It's not. Fuck Amazon, man. You guys suck at boxing. You don't advertise the shit. You
Hey,
don't
no,
do
no, no, no,
nothing.
no, 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 no.
You ain't even
Ah,
giving
la,
a
la,
free.
la, 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 la. we might get a endorsement deal from Amazon. Chill out, bro.
Man,
Y'all doing a good job, Amazon. Keep doing
Amazon,
y'all
if you
thing.
want to step your game up, hire us and we'll get your shit going for you guys because you fucking suck. And whoever you got leading your shit, they suck and you need to fire them and hire us in there. That's what you
Nah,
guys
yeah,
need
we
to
just
do.
gonna say that whoever y'all got running it, y'all don't suck at all. I love Amazon.
The guy running it sucks. But yeah,
Stop, bro. For
I
they black, Amazon, who owns that, bro. Stop before we get blackballed, bro. You can't be doing that
Jeff
right
Bezos.
now, bro. We
Jeff
on the
Bezos, you
grind.
probably don't know. Jeff Bezos probably ain't thrown him one punch in his whole life. Talking
Shit, I
about
don't.
boxing.
Hey,
It reminded me of the Allen Iverson thing. Boxing. We talking about boxing? That's Amazon. They don't have a clue what the fuck's going on, man.
yeah, they
They're
need to
just like,
hire.
I really think they were just thinking PBC would handle everything, but you got to have a platform for that. You got to give us at least one fight. You got to give. I said it with that Tim Zoo shit. You got to give people a taste. You can't just jump off the fucking board with a pay-per-view introduction to your shit. Like you needed to give people a taste, man. Like here's a little taste of what you could get, and then we're gonna give you a big time pay-per-view event, and you're gonna want to tune into it.
Right.
But yeah, before we get too deep on that shit, you already know. But yeah, as we were going, we got an undisputed fight. We got two little fights going on in Tokyo tomorrow, man. Nice and early for
Come
everybody.
on.
I don't know if it's gonna be up at 2:30 in the morning. I don't know too many people that are for this, but you can also catch it later on. If you got ESPN Plus, you can also catch these fights. Just you got to avoid the internet and all that, so you don't see the results, but you can catch these fights later on. But we will get an undisputed featherweight championship fight. Noah Inoue, of course, everybody loves Noah Inoue. He is a great not a prospect, one of the best in the game right now. But I feel like he's taking a step back with this fight against TJ
Froze.
Duff.
What the hell? How I freeze?
You
You can
froze,
see
froze.
me?
I saw you. Yeah, I saw you the whole time. I thought you was with me. But yeah, that's going to be going on tomorrow at
It's
2:30
freezing.
a.m. ESPN over in
I
the.
told you, quit talking about Amazon, bro. They got our shit freezing and everything.
They're trying
It
to
ain't
block us.
froze all day.
They're trying to block us.
God damn.
They don't want the word to get out like, hey, telling everybody we suck. But yeah, catch that fight tomorrow if you're an NOA fan. I think this is a step back fight for him, so I'm not too impressed with this fight. I don't think it's going to last long. But because I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I will definitely try to catch that fight.
Yeah, he gonna
There's
watch it,
another.
y'all.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. I like those little Japanese fights. There's another one on there too. WBO bantamweight title. Yoshaki Takai versus Diego Heeg on September 3rd. I think that is on the same card. It's in the same arena, everything, but they're advertising as two separate fights. So I find that weird, but I think that is the co-main event to that fight. So you'll get two little title fights in Japan. These guys do put on some great fight cards in Japan, though. Just super early, and we don't usually get to see them that much in the States. All right, over the weekend, man, did you get to see Diego Pacheco? Did you get to watch it? I've been telling
Get
you
to
about
watch
him.
who?
Diego Pacheco over the weekend, man. He's
I
an
ain't
up
watched
and
no fights this
super
weekend.
middleweight. He fights. He's actually in the same gym as David Benavidez. He is actually under David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez Senior. He's under his wing in boxing. This kid, he reminds you a lot of Benavidez in his style, but he's a really good fighter, really smart. He went in there and took out Solinsky in a fashion that he hasn't. Nobody's ever knocked this dude out. He hit him with a body punch that just was devastating. And they say that liver makes you quiver with. Boy, this dude it wasn't no getting up. It was a nice little 6-round KO from him. Nice little fight. Now they're also talking about he's going to be Canelo Alvarez's mandatory after this, that he should be the next in line to fight him. And I'm
Who
just
gonna
like,
be Canelo mandatory?
Diego Pacheco, which I like the guy a lot, but he has absolutely fought nobody in that super middleweight division to say that he should be the next guy in line for Canelo Alvarez, and how the hell he would jump everybody else is a mandatory. But that's the super middleweight division for you. Get over to a little bit of boxing news. You were talking about this guy earlier. Jamel Charlo hit with a DWI charge after crashing his Lamborghini. Man, had the Charlos just said, fuck it, we don't want nothing to do with this sport, and we're done with boxing. We're just going to live our life, man.
Yeah, they done, bro. They
Yeah, and
drinking
that's
and shit. They
Oh,
drinking and
they
shit, bro.
yeah. His brothers who is it? There's Jamel and Jamal, right?
Oh nah, you talking
Jamel
about Jamal? Yeah, Jamal. I been
Ball.
heard that though. He got in
Yeah.
trouble again.
Yeah. He just got a DWI after crashing his
Again?
Land truck. Yeah, another
He
one.
just had one, bro.
Yeah, so not looking good for him, man.
He
Of
going
course, we
through
don't.
it.
Yeah, he's been going through it. They said he deals with mental health. That was
Yeah.
a whole reason why he had been out of the ring so long and all that other stuff. So hopefully he can control all that, man. Hate to see good talent like those two not get back in the ring of boxing. I think they still have something to offer. I just don't think they had the drive, man. They got that money. They're like, I'm out, man. It's done. So outside of
Yeah.
that, man, what you got for us, Big Spade? You got any other big news for us? Anything you want to drop on us?
Nope, not at all. I think we had a amazing talk for real. Boxing was kind of slow for me this week. I ain't really catch nobody. Um, man, I'm just waiting, man, for November. It seems like that's the month.
Yep.
And
Stuff's
I
gonna
ain't
start.
talking about September, who about to fight. I'm talking about November.
Yeah, November. Yep. I agree with you. There's a couple good fights later in September that I do like. I like Xander Zayas coming up, and then you're gonna have that Michaela
Oh, okay.
Mayer versus
Like,
Sandy Ryan fight September 27th. I'm telling you, bro, I love Sandy Ryan. I like Michaela Mayer, but I love Sandy Ryan, man. I'm a big fan of hers. She's out of the UK. Big fan of Sandy Ryan. She'll be up around September 27th, later in September. But Xander Zayas, a good young talent. He's going to
oh
be
yeah,
hosting
yeah, yeah. I fuck with him.
his second main event that he'll be on. So
Who
it'd
he
be nice.
fighting?
I don't think it's anybody big that I know of. I had to look more to his opponent to see, check out his box recs and see what kind of information I can get on the guy. I don't think it's anybody of name just yet. But at 154, I'd like for him to take a little bit of his time, man. I think
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
build it up a little bit. Don't rush him too much because there's a lot of good talent at 154 that I don't think he's ready for. He's not ready for, Crawford, Sebastian Fedora. He's not ready for those guys just yet, man. But I think he could be the future of 154, no doubt, in the future.
Yeah.
But you know how we do it here. Thank you all for joining us on episode 78 of Bourbon and Boxing. My guy, Big Spade, he's going to tell you everything y'all need to do, man. He's going to take us out like he does. I intro, he outro. Let's go.
Y'all, you took it down, but we had the TikTok. Make sure y'all follow the TikTok page, Bourbon and Boxing. Facebook, Bourbon and Boxing. Instagram, soon to come, Bourbon and Boxing. Um, that's on me, y'all, on the Instagram. But I like to, when I do something, I want that shit to be successful. Even though sometimes failure come before success. But
That's
me,
right.
I want to see success. But like
Yep.
I always say, man, like, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? We jumping, man. We
Yeah.
gonna be jumping in a minute, man. We gonna touch bases.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
and Jeff, we about to get together, run some plans together, man. New beginnings. By New Year, man, we gonna be really jumping, man. So make sure
So,
y'all come on in, man. Tap in with us too, man. It ain't just one big boxing platform, two big boxing platforms, three. It's it's more than them platforms y'all come and
yeah.
go watch. We we talking just like them. We know just as much as them. And
Yep. We
guess
keep
what?
an eye on the sport. We love
And
it
we
just like.
fuck with them. And we fuck with them. And I
Yeah,
go watch
yeah.
every
Yep.
boxing platform, bro. Cause I
Absolutely,
get
man.
ideas on what to talk about and describe. And when I go watch them and they say something, I always shout them out, man. So yeah,
Yep.
come like, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? And fuck with us, man. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I want to try to get Najee on our platform, man, and just
And you
holler
already
at him.
know, man. Yeah.
For real.
That would
Him
be
and
badass,
Mill
man.
City, for real. I want to try to get them guys, man. For real, man.
That would be badass for sure. But
That'd be
we
nice.
had a special guest on today, man. This has been a great show,
Shout
man.
out to
We can
TJ. Shout
appreciate
out to TJ, man.
DJ, our guy, for coming on, giving us that info on his promotion he's got coming up in Southern Indiana at Caesar Casino on September 13th, guys. If you guys have a chance, like he said, go on the site, get you some tickets, show up for the event, man. It sounds like it's going to be a good one. Some nice little undefeated fighters on there. Like my guy Big Spade said, somebody gotta go. So
Don't
check it
have to
out.
go.
September 13th. We're going to be front row. I will get footage for you guys. I won't go live with it, but he said pretty much we got permission to do whatever we want when we're there. So we're definitely going to get some footage for you guys, get some vaccine stuff and just kind of take you with us, man, for sure. So, man, episode 78.
Peace.
Thank you all for joining us. Later. And I got to get my kids